And you are welcome. It's our first big story, although it might take the liking of sports. But hey, let's talk about it. The 2025 Africa Cup of Nations is fast approaching, and the Super Eagles are once again under the national microscope. For Nigerians, football is more than a game. It is a source of pride. It is a unifier and sometimes a pressure cooker of expectations, also a religion. The Eagles carry not just the hopes of a nation, but the scrutiny that comes with every tournament, every coach decision, and every player on the pitch. As the team prepares for the continent's biggest stage, questions about strategy, readiness, and mental toughness dominate conversations across the country. The stakes are high. Past tournaments have taught us that talent alone does not win cups, so cohesion, discipline, and the ability to handle the weight of expectations are just as critical. And fans, pundits, and also officials are watching closely, wondering whether this squad has the balance of youth, experience, and resilience to go all the way. Every draw, every friendly, and every training session now carries symbolic weight, and the media's role in shaping public perception has never been more important.
And so, to help us unpack this, we're joined by Babatunde Koiki. He's the head of the sports desk here at News Central Television. Babatunde, he's been, following the Eagles campaign for years, and just this last year as well, rather this year, just going on to qualifying for AFCON. And so he does have the deep understanding of what the nation's mood is like. Babatunde, thank you so much for coming on. First of all, we've gotten a new captain.
Yes, we do.
But,
yes, we do.
But would there be disappointment?
Well, it depends on what you regard as disappointment.
Yeah, because look at the match that they just played with these guys. One has to ask Egypt. One has to ask whether it was a video game. Okay, was that what Unduka said?
Be nice.
Unduka said. I don't have to tune in and say, but wait a minute, this is really bad.
No, to be honest, it's the thing about friendly matches is that the result really doesn't hold any significance, to be honest.
Yeah, well, seeing the form that they had before going into the friendly match?
Well, like I said, let me just finish. Sorry, I get this, but
I sheathed my sword.
Okay, so for any good coach uses a friendly match to look at tactics, adaptability, probably maybe even form. There's so many things you can unpack from a friendly match. The result is really the most secondary thing.
Okay, what did you unpack?
Well, I just saw that there were a few new debutants, a few new players who we'd never seen before.
Right.
Because this coach had called up 5 players who had never played for the Nigerian national team,
right,
which has never been done in the history of this country, going into a competition with 5 players who have never had national team experience. Now, that is risky in terms of the fact that not every player can play at that international level.
Right.
Some players are good as squad players, as club players, but living in national team football, it's a rarefied atmosphere. Not every animal is built to live there. So it's a risk, a calculated one, but let's hope that they can step into the spotlight.
From your vantage point, 5 new debutants on the group.
Yeah.
Watching them play against Egypt, knowing what's at stake, giving their outing from as far as 2023, 2024, thereabout.
Yeah.
Do you see them meeting that bar that they set for themselves?
So the Nigerian Super Eagles have an interesting history with the Africa Cup of Nations. They have played more semi-finals than any other country. By that alone, by the law of averages, they should have won this Africa Cup of Nations at least if give or take, maybe 5 more times than they already have.
So their village people have been chasing them?
Something like that. But you get the impression that this Nigerian national team is also a Jekyll and Hyde team. You never know which one is going to turn up. At the last Africa Cup of Nations, nobody believed that they were going to get as far as the semi-final. Yeah. And they were just probably 45 minutes away from winning it. So you never really know which Nigerian national team is going to turn up. They are probably the most unpredictable team on the African continent. The day you expect them to be rolled over, that's the day they give up a 5-star performance. The day you expect them to thrash someone, that's when they are bent over and
classic case of Nigerian
men. Exactly.
Just classic case of men.
Oh, stop it.
She went there. Koiki, let's handle this by ourselves.
Okay.
In any case, if we've made it to the semi-final so many times that it seems that we should have at least taken it more than just what we've gotten.
Yeah.
What is responsible at that critical moment? Is it preparedness? Is it tactics? Is it strategy? Is it the coach? Is it the absence of certain players? What have you identified as our major flaw?
It's a combination of many things. It's a combination of many things. We've played 3 finals which we lost to Cameroon alone. Cameroon alone has attributed to 3 losses in the final. That was in 1988, Then there was also 1984, and also in Lagos in 2000. Now, this in Cameroon national team used to have like the Indian sign over Nigeria. Every time we heard them coming, the indomitable lions of Cameroon. I mean, this mighty, fearless, powerful team. They don't have any lions. Gorillas they do, but they don't have lions.
Because, there's a sighting of lions there.
Exactly. So, but it's a team with an almost mythical aura. So even before you stepped on the pitch, you were like quivering and quaking. But thankfully, over the last few years, we seem to have thrown that off, that hoodoo. So we can't live with, the likes of Cameroon now. There have also been players who failed to turn up on match day. You know, expectations were so high. You expected them to give a 5-star performance. They didn't as well. They also look at tactics. At the last Africa Cup of Nations, where we got to the final, the coach had pretty much driven the team into the ground. He used the core of, let's say, probably 15 players out of a squad of 23. So by the time they got to the final, they were completely knackered. They played probably a good 30 minutes, but the rest don't look at me like that. I don't know where you're going with that. But they were completely knackered after 30 minutes. The remainder of the match, they were completely done. And it also brings into question, don't get me wrong, the staying power of the Nigerian national team.
Hold on. Joke, I can't say
no,
that.
please don't.
So sorry.
The staying power of the Nigerian national team at critical moments. Do they have what it takes to maintain a strong performance even in the final? So that's always been an issue.
So the critical question here is, with the players that we have on board now that have that have resumed, what should we be looking out individually from each of them, and do they have any critical stake in the outcome? Do you think that this team can do anything? Forget the 5 players we don't know from whence they came.
Okay.
The critical ones, who are they? What are we expecting from them? What are their positions?
Right. One thing I didn't also mention, the fact is that while we do have 5 debutants who have never played for the Super Eagles before, we also have in totality 10 players who have never played at the Africa Cup of Nations before.
Never played at the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes.
So we're doomed.
No, sometimes new fresh blood can be a good thing.
Thank you.
Because they have energy.
Thank you.
So what about the ones that are experienced?
Right. The ones that are experienced.
Let's start from there, then we'll come to these 10 new guys.
From like the captain, Wilfred Ndidi, he's been around for quite a while, since 2015. He's been to 2 Africa Cup of Nations. He missed out on the last one because of injuries. 71 caps for Nigeria. He's been to an Olympic Games as well. He's been to a FIFA World Cup. So he's a player who's been there, done that at the highest level. Victor Osimhen, of course, star boy of the Nigerian national team. The weight of the team basically rests on his boots, basically, because he had that last AFCON, he was a bit tepid. Probably scored only 1 goal for a marksman of repute. You get the impression that he wants to do much better. He's also former African Footballer of the Year, so he has quite a lot to prove as well. So there are a few other experienced players, Alex Iwobi as well, who's also been a very, very good servant of Nigerian national football. So you get the impression that these players, they would really love to win an Africa Cup of Nations. Another incentive for these players to go as far as they can is the fact that CAF has increased the prize money from 7 million last time around to $10 million. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that the prize monies that the Nigerian national teams get from competitions, they are entitled to 1/3 of it. The players are entitled to 1/3 of that.
Okay.
When you remember that at the 2000 Africa Cup of Nations, the prize money for the winner was $500,000 to $10 million now.
That's a lot.
That's a huge. That in 25 years, it's moved a lot because CAF has been revenues have gone through the roof over the last few years.
Total has joined as well.
Everybody.
Everyone's
their revenue projection for this Africa Cup of Nations alone is $192 million.
Insane.
Their profit is like $113 million. We're profit after everything's been said and done.
So that's sports psychology. You're baiting them to, hey, you guys better win to get this money.
Exactly.
That's on one side.
Exactly.
Let's go back to the hope that you were giving us with these critical names, these names that are founded.
Yeah.
So at least there's a bit of hope there that these guys are experienced. These guys can actually bring in the passion from these new players. Let's talk about these 10 new players that haven't been, the 10 players that have never been to AFCON.
Okay.
Who are they? What are the chances?
Well, I think there's a slide. You can put them up on the screen so that you can see the 10 new players that we've never had before. There's 5 that are making their debut for the national team. They're included. There are also those who have never been to the African Cup of Nations, like I mentioned, the likes of Akko Adams, who plays for Sevilla. There's also Cyril Dessers, who also plays, I think he's in Greece now, and a few other players as well. The good thing about these players is that, just like Julie said, they bring in fresh blood. They bring in new insights. They bring in new energy. The fact that they also are an unknown quantity for other teams also makes them an X factor. They also bring in hunger because they've never been
you gotta be hungry.
Yeah,
they want to be immortalized like Alex Iwobi.
There you go.
Tanana is a go.
Oh.
Is a go. Is a go. Is a go.
No, so you get that. These are players who never played at this level.
We've got that up now.
That is the squad of the Nigerian national team,
and
right?
They have and some would argue that they do have staying power, right? But let's look at the group that Nigeria is in. There's Tanzania on there.
There's Uganda.
There's Uganda on there as well.
And there's Tunisia.
Right? Tanzania.
Yeah, we can take them over with this stick.
Hey, you people.
That's what I'm saying. But again, there's the X factor. You never know. So I do have to ask you, what are our chances in this group? Talk to me in terms of odds and pros and cons and peculiarity and possibilities. What are we looking at in this group?
Okay, so if you look at two teams in this group, they're from East Africa. That's Tanzania and Uganda. And both of them are the co-hosts of the next Africa Cup of Nations. So they're pretty much building for the next tournament, wanting to have a good tournament this time around so they can have a solid showing when they do host Africa in another 2 years' time. Okay. But you also look at Tunisia, who are former African champions, one of the biggest teams on the African continent. They've qualified for the FIFA World Cup as well. So you look at it, it's a mixed group in terms of the quality of the teams and Nigeria's capabilities. And I did mention the fact that Nigeria is a Jekyll and Hyde team. Ordinarily, you think that Nigeria will probably give, to Tanzania and Uganda a thrashing. Yeah, but recently we struggled against so-called lesser teams. Yeah. At the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, we struggled against Benin Republic, we struggled against Lesotho, we struggled against Tanzania. I mean, this Nigerian national team...
Using the friendly, we've just struggled.
You can't really take anything away from a friendly.
But at least tactically.
Tactically?
What do you see when you use that performance against these lesser teams, as a metric, exactly?
Okay, so there is a problem for this, every country going to this Africa Cup of Nations. Ordinarily, every team is entitled to 14 days with their players. Every player should be released 14 days before the start of the tournament. But CAF, in their wisdom, and after getting to bed with FIFA, they've now been making some adjustments to African football that completely confounds everyone. They only release players 7 days to the start of the tournament, which pretty much shortens preparation time, team bonding, building team chemistry. So basically, a lot of these teams are going into this competition pretty much hampered in terms of preparation. But thankfully, the Super Eagles of Nigeria were pretty much in action just a few days ago in the FIFA World Cup qualifying playoffs, where they played Gabon and lost to the DR Congo. So there's still some recency. So they're not doing too bad in terms of preparation. But the question is,
too badly. What you want to be saying in terms of a qualifying adjective is greatly in terms of preparation, not too badly.
Like I said, every single team was hampered because they had only 7 days with their players.
Nigeria is fond of using their star players and over depending on them.
I think that's pretty much the same for every country. They're big players for a reason.
But Victor Osimhen,
the boy who will be king.
Who could have been king?
Who could be king? Because he's an absolute phenomenon. He's one of the best strikers I've ever seen.
Yeah, I have a feeling he has a strain of neurodivergence.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
She's doing that.
They always have to.
Keep sorry,
poor guys out there trying to make a living. He's neurodivergent.
No, because they have for you to be great at something, it's something that you have to be obsessive about, and the way where he's focused whenever he's playing, the mental agility of it, besides the single-mindedness, that thing, you don't get it every single time.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
If we had like 4 or 5 players with his mentality in the Nigerian national team, I promise you we'll be world beaters. His single-mindedness, his hunger, his drive. I think the Spanish have a word for it, passion. The sheer, he's like a raging fire. Yeah. And because of the kind of player he is, he's gone through tremendous hardships as a young man. Yeah. And to get to where he is now, where he's basically deified by an entire country in Turkey, and also being regarded as one of the biggest exports out of Nigerian football, he carries the weight of, there's a personal weight on his back and a national weight.
Let's talk about that weight, the individual weight on these players. However, if we bring it back home, how prepared are they to carry this weight? How prepared is Nigeria? The backing of the authorities is what I'm talking about before going out there for this this tournament. Are we ready? Were they prepared? Where they just coming into town one by one, meeting themselves for the first time. So for me, that gives me an idea of the level of preparedness. But you're the expert.
Well, it's interesting you should mention the authorities because they haven't exactly put their best foot forward. Just a few days ago, we were told that they're owing the coach 3 months' salary. Now, the coach didn't say anything.
We have started again. We didn't ever stop.
No, we never stopped. Considering the fact that also...
Ghana Rock, same thing. Before him, same thing. Stevie Keshi, same thing. May so rest in peace, Keshi. Same thing. What's going on?
There's only one word. Well, it's 2 words basically, but it's basically a phrase. You can say administrative ineptitude or administrative incompetence. Either way.
Not corruption?
I wouldn't say corruption. It's just that the honest truth is that these people they do not understand what it is to administer football in the 21st century. That is the honest truth. The kind of decisions that they make continue to confound. The kind of postulations. I mean, for example, now, and I keep using this everywhere. At the National Stadium, beside the Nigeria Football Federation headquarters, they are building a football hostel for the players. Please, a hostel to keep national team players of the likes of Iwobi and Osimhen, who are used to 5-star accommodation?
Well, no.
And you also understand the fact that Nigeria is not exactly the very best in terms of maintenance culture. They are modeling this after a facility that actually the Moroccans have. I think is the King Mohammed VI Center that is world class, fantastic structure. But you must also remember that Morocco is a top 5 African destination.
I've seen it.
Exactly. It's a top 5 African tourist destination. They know how to do these kind of things. I would have thought that the Nigerian Football Federation would have meant the federal government, please give us land in Maitama, Asokoro. Then they go and meet an international hotel chain, Marriott, Golden Tulip. This is our equity contribution and this amount of money. Build a 5-star hotel. Just every six weeks in a year, give us one entire floor so we can house the Nigerian national team and pay us $1 million every year.
That in itself is preparation.
That is preparation because these people don't know how to generate money apart from handouts. The English FA alone, they own Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium generates between $300 million and $250 million annually from stuff like NFL games, Taylor Swift concerts. There's so much that they generate. But these people, unless they get money from the government, which they never really account for, they're not ready to spend on Nigerian football.
You said the word merchandising. Let's talk about merchandising. Let's talk about how prepared they are when it comes to what they look like out this.
Can I just say?
Please go ahead. It's your turn.
Listen, I just saw the homies. I don't know. I've forgotten. It's a C. I've forgotten the country, but I know it's a C. I saw.
Comoros?
No, they're dark-skinned. You know what I mean? Like
Comoros.
6 feet tall. Côte d'Ivoire.
No.
Oh, the garb.
They are the defending champions of Africa Cup of Nations.
And they came as champions. When I saw, I said, yeah, that's right. I love that. Nigeria should not fail me. Don't disgrace me.
But didn't you like the green kaftan that they came out with? Yeah, nice.
Let this be last time.
Sorry.
Compared to Côte d'Ivoire.
No, I think another angle that we've not talked about is the fact that a lot of African countries are making major statements in terms of their cultural display, showing the world exactly their cultural identity. All the African nations pretty much showed up in their native garb. I think it was only Zimbabwe that came in blazers, which I thought was a bit weird. But it shows, I mean, look at Italy now. I think the Italian national team are kitted by either Dolce & Gabbana or Gucci. You must have something. Imagine if you had a competition for the very best Nigerian designers here. Diola Sego, Maya Tafo.
I mean,
exactly. I mean, each one should probably have like a kitting or maybe like a competition to find out who's going to be kitting the Nigerian national team to the next competition. It could also be a major statement point. We've already exported our music all over the world. Why not our fashion? And look at, I mean, that's the Nigerian national team. It's not looking too bad. Look at good-looking men.
I need you to pull up Côte d'Ivoire. I need you.
I think
listen, the garb. Oh my God! I need you to pull. If you can find Côte d'Ivoire, please pull up Côte d'Ivoire.
But I'm liking the fact that
look at them.
Yeah. I mean, they look resplendent. To be honest, they look resplendent, and I'm liking this. I'm liking this because back in the day, they probably show. Which anthem is that?
No, because I know when they go through the tunnel.
Oh, yeah, they have a new one now. It's called Nigeria for the win. Considering the fact that Nigeria has won 3 Africa Cup of Nations, they're going for a 4th. So it's Nigeria for the win. So
I thought it was going to be Obele.
Because it's December, right? Yeah, I get that, because this is the first ever Africa Cup of Nations held in December, January.
Yeah.
So which makes it completely unique. It's also held in a country which is basically an hour 45 minutes from major European capitals. So you can expect a huge influx of Europeans who are coming to party. It's going to be the best Africa Cup of Nations ever. I can guarantee you that. The people there are excited. European fans are excited. There's also a huge North African diaspora population in Europe, so it's going to be packed.
I'm looking forward to it. Hey, Babatunde, it was fun doing this. Always fun, always fun. We're going to be China Wale is a goal. So the second hour is a goal. Let's prepare to win. Super Eagles, please don't fail me. Babatunde Koiki is the head of our sport desk here at News Central. We've been talking about AFCON and what to expect from our Super Eagles and all that's in store. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue, and this time with our big story for the second hour. Stay with us.